Good morning, students. Today, we'll continue our topic evolutionary model and spiral model. We have already discussed about evolutionary model and its benefits, disadvantages. Today, we'll continue the topic regarding the benefits of using spiral model. As it is a meta model, how it becomes benefited. Okay, let us continue our topic. In this part of evolutionary and spiral model, the highest optimal benefit of using the models we can get, in which the utilization of all other models inside it, and another model, that is spiral model, in which the all other subsequent models, life cycle models, can be taken help of. The spiral model can be said as a collection of all other models to be used inside it. The spiral model can be said as a process model that comes in the form of spirals to be developed. All its activities are distributed into spirals and executed. There is a whole set of actions performed again and again in the spirals. You can say spirals are performing cycles of activities again and again. One system may contain several cycles of information to be executed because many number of spirals together solves a particular customer requirement. And what type of requirement is solved here? If a particular set of actions are performed again and again, you may say that it is a drawback that we are performing the same set of activities. We are not using the code reuse system. We are having no enough idea in order to perform the all set of activities as a whole. That is not the system here. Here the thing is what? A same set of activities are performed again and again in order to develop certain percentage of a particular system requirement to be completed. Let us have a definition of spiral model. According to IEEE Institute of Electrical and Electronics Engineers, the definition of spiral model is like this. Spiral model is a model of the software development process in which the constituent activities, typically the requirement analysis, preliminary and detailed design, coding, integration and testing, all those are performed iteratively until the software is complete. All the actions are done as per the life cycle models specified previously. The life cycle model contains the software development life cycle contains all the phases to be performed one after another, and your spiral model helps to perform all the activities one after another in the form of spirals. The same set of actions like collecting requirements, analyze the informations, prepare the detailed design, prepare the code, integrate the specific parts, then test those as a whole, then use in order to solve a particular percentage of work. In this manner, the spiral model gradually helps the whole system to be developed. The spiral model is said to be as a risk-driven software development process model. It can handle any type of risk. It is supposed to call the risk to be handled. Like, risk, come to me, I'll handle it. I have the solution for it. Any type of instant risk also can be solved. In case of real-time systems to be developed, there are possibilities of getting more and more risk, and those risk handling systems are present here. It has a unique risk-driven pattern. Using that, the risks are collected, analyzed, prototypes are prepared in order to solve the risk, then implement in the system that. Gradually, each and every small set of risks will be solved and a particular percentage of the system development will be completed. It is beneficial for large, complex and expensive projects to be handled. It utilizes the concept of one or more process models like waterfall model, prototype model, evolutionary model to be used inside it. How all these models are being used inside it, we'll discuss it thereafter. When the solution of a large problem is there in your hand, then dividing the whole system into smaller parts first comes. If it is supposed to handle risk and can solve the real-time system needs, then the system development requirements will be complex in nature. And those complexities can be handled using your spiral model. As it is solving the larger problems it can handle complex problems, it can deal with risk, it can handle any type of real-time activities to be solved, then obviously the model will be expensive to implement. It is little costly. Got it? Then the importance of the spiral model, those we really use. The model is useful when the project concept is used. It means large. It is used in the cases where the software requirements have continuous risk assessment and evaluations. Continuous risks are coming, continuous risk assessment need to be done, and risk evaluation strategies to be applied, then this model will be highly implemented there. When the project requirements are complex and requires continuous clarifications, then this model is highly implementable. Without continuous clarification, the complexity of requirements cannot be solved. The spiral model helps in doing this work. When the software requires significant changes inside it to be implemented, then also the spiral model is beneficial. The system is utilized, being tested for its benefits, and how more benefits can be solved inside it also find out. Then in that regard, more changes to the system also can be required at the subsequent stages. And all those can be identified and solved here. To collect and analyze the end user experiences also, the spiral model is beneficial. The end user is using the system, and if any defect found out, then he is going to complain that the system is not working very well, it is not suitable for him, the money he has invested became waste, then this type of problems can be rectified here. The spiral model works in this manner as per the phases specified in the figure. You can look at the spiral model diagram. See here, the whole diagram looks little complex. It is a risk handling system. As it is a risk handling system, where the risk is coming, how the risk is going to be problematic for the developer to develop, how the risk can be handled. This needs to be found out. And these are solved in 4 quadrants. The whole work is distributed into 4 parts. Each and every small spiral is going to complete a certain percentage of work to be done. And each and every quadrant will perform a set of activities. In the first quadrant, identification of the system objectives, alternatives, alternative solutions, and the constraints to be used are found out. Here, the work to be done, what to be done, how it can be solved are identified. The review work is also performed here when certain stage of activities are already over and how it is going to solve the system objectives. After finding out the real requirements, the risk analysis is done. As it is a risk handling strategy applied with its software development stages, it evaluates the alternatives, then identify the risk and try to solve the risk. In order to solve the risk, it performs the analysis on those risks. Those are going to be get at the time of using the system. Normally, the real-time systems are developed using spiral model, and real-time systems are liable to get many risks at many places, and how those type of risks can be solved are developed using a prototype. For each set of risks, a separate prototype is prepared, then the work will be done on that prototype. The prototype, as we have already discussed, contains a raw model, a dummy strategy to apply, a set of functions those can be implemented, is thought by the developer, is being collected and utilized, checked whether it is going to really solve the risk, then developed by the developer. In the second quadrant, the risk analysis and preparation of the prototype is made. Then in the third quadrant, the real development starts or the engineering work starts, in which the simulations, model preparations, identifying benchmarks are done. When a prototype is prepared, how it is going to solve the requirements, how much it is going to give the benefit, simulate that, identify that, prepare the models to handle those prototypes, then prepare the benchmarks for it. Then come to the concept of operation, what the real work is required. Now, software requirements will be specified. Then requirements validations will be done. We have identified that there are certain software requirements, hardware requirements, whether those software hardware requirements we have thought can be highly usable or not is validated here first. Now the designing work starts. Product design will be done, then validation, verification, design will be done. When a particular action is checked whether it is okay or not, for that also there is a design required, and accordingly it is tested that working well or not. By looking at the designs, the detailed design for developing the prototype will be done. Detailed design is prepared, then coding is made, then unit testing for each individual small code will be done. Next, the unit tested core modules will be integration tested in order to find out their collaborative efforts. Then acceptance test by the customer will be made whether it is going to provide the right benefit or not. Then the services will be checked with the implementation strategy, how it is going to benefit the user. In the fourth quadrant, the plan for the next phase of activities will be done, in which if a particular small risk is handled, what will be the next risk? What will be the next requirement is identified in the fourth quadrant. Accordingly, the requirements plan and the life cycle plan will be prepared for the next set of activities in the second spiral. Once first spiral is over, first, second, third quadrants work is over, then next spiral work is to be started. Before the next spiral activity is started, the life cycle plan or requirements plan or development plan need to be prepared. Using that plan, the rest set of activities in the spiral can only be conducted. Got it? With that plan, the actions to be carried out can be known to the developer. Without that, the activities those to be conducted may be invalid, mismatched, loss of effort, loss of time, and so many drawbacks, defects you can get. Integration and test plans are also prepared here when we have a particular system in hand. What we are going to do in the next subsequent stages are identified here. Got it? After the plan is prepared, the next spiral's objectives are identified. Then the same set of activities will be carried out in all the 4 quadrants until the whole system is completed. The complete percentage, 100% of the system is complete. Got it? So there you see here there are several spirals exist. Each and every spiral you may say that it's called as a lifespan of the particular module. Each and every spiral contains a life cycle, and several life cycles are carried out in each and every spiral. Got it? Now, how the works are performed in the phases of the spiral. First phase, your planning phase. In planning phase, you have determined the requirements, and in the next phase, you have find out the risk, and in the next phase, you have done the engineering activity, and in the next phase, you have done evaluations. These are the 4 stages of your life cycle. Look at here, these are the 4 phases. Those are performed one after another. The first phase you will do the planning. How you are preparing plan? The requirements are collected, the resources are identified, the working environment is identified, the output those are supposed to get are identified here. In the outputs you have to get specification document, the business requirement documents, those can be implemented thereafter in the next subsequent steps. SRS document is highly usable in order to do all the activities of a particular system. So prepare the SRS here and prepare the business requirement document here. By looking at that, the rest pages you can complete. In the next phase, do risk analysis. Here it focuses on the risk to be analyzed, find out the alternate solutions for handling the risk, then prepare the risk handling strategies and prototypes. The prototypes, those are going to really solve the risk handling activities. In the next phase, the development for the prototype is done. In engineering phase, here the actual product development work is done, in which the source code will be prepared, the design documents will be prepared, the test cases will be identified, test summary will be prepared. When you test, how it will look like, what will be the outcomes, what will be the defects, prepare those defect reports. All these things will be done in the engineering phase. Next, evaluation of the analysis. Here, the evaluations of the activities will be done, and next set of activities will be what will be also identified here. It involves the customer to evaluate the product, ensure the product is going to satisfy his requirements. If the product is not meeting his requirements, you can give suggestions, he can give feedbacks, he can add new requirements inside it in order to solve the product needs very well. What are the advantages of the spiral model? The processes of development is faster here. It is a larger system and divides the whole system into spirals. Prepare the plan before, and each and every plan is identified to be developed using small prototypes. In this manner, the development is faster here, quicker. It controls the activities inside the phases. Without that, the phase activities performed may not be very well implemented. And the control towards the phases of development makes the development activities to be conducted very well. And the customer feedbacks are taken again and again and change the modifications if required and implement that inside the system. The spiral model allows that. Collecting feedbacks, add the feedbacks, according to the feedbacks, make the necessary changes, re-implement it inside the system is done. Got it? All the features of the system to be developed are added sequentially in different spirals. One spiral each time is going to solve a particular feature at a moment. In the next moment, next set of features are being added and developed. So sequentially new features are added into it. Most important for larger and riskier projects. We have already discussed large systems are being solved here. Riskier systems are also handled here. In order to solve the risks very well, continuous risk assessment features are also there in the risk management strategy. It is also one of the major benefits. Risks can be identified, risks can be handled, risks can be solved as and when they occur. This is the highest benefit of your spiral model. It is proved most ideal where requirements are changing more frequently. When requirements are changing more frequently, there is a possibility of getting larger risk, making the system more and more complex, and this type of solutions can be easily handled by the spiral model. Got it? The spiral model is a model that contains certain set of activities in the form of spirals, cycles. Each spiral is going to be complete certain percentage of the product to be developed. At last, the whole system is developed and being implemented by the user. You can find certain disadvantages also with the spiral model. As it is going to handle risks, it is going to solve complex informations, it is going to handle larger systems, it is preparing more number of prototypes, it is preparing each time the simulations, it uses different models to perform its activities, it uses all other life cycle activities to be used, it uses prototype model while developing a prototype, it uses evolutionary model in order to distribute the small parts of the system into number of other parts. It also uses iterative strategy in order to sequentially develop the product's activities. So in this manner, it uses all other life cycle models inside it. So obviously it is going to give certain disadvantages. The developer had to be more concentrated while using the spiral model, while handling the risk to be solved, while handling the complexities of the system, while identifying the real requirements of the system. In order to solve a particular requirement, what are the solutions and what may be the optimal solution? Find out that, use that, apply that, prepare a prototype for that may create many other disadvantages, drawbacks for the system. it is very costly to implement, and for smaller projects it will be more costly also. Requirement documentation is also very lengthy. As it is going to handle larger systems, the documentation will be also lengthy. Risk analysis requires experts to be used. Under expert authority only, the risk analysis phase can be completed. Otherwise, risk identification handling cannot be perfectly done. Without proper knowledge, one cannot identify the risk handling strategies. So, under expert authority only, risk analysis should be done. High changes of not meeting the schedule or budget, high chances of not meeting the schedule or budget also arises here. When you are performing a larger product to be developed, there may be possibility of a larger schedule to be handled, lot many of economical support required. It may be in a drastic situation that in some cases there may missing of schedule, missing of budget arises. The spiral model protocol should be followed strictly in order to effective delivery of the product. Without a proper set of protocol, we cannot use the model perfectly for any solution and for effective delivery of the product. When a particular spiral completes a certain percentage of work, then it must be identified that whether it is fully done or some of the information is left behind. If left behind, those can be rectified, added. So here in this class, we have discussed about evolutionary model and spiral model, the benefits of both the models, the drawbacks of both the models, how these models are highly usable by the developers in order to conduct the software development life cycle activities in a well-planned manner. The development activities can be planned, implemented, and get the optimal benefits out of using these models. We have discussed about 5 models: classical waterfall model, iterative waterfall model, prototype model, evolutionary model, and spiral model, and how we are going to get benefit using those models. In next class, we'll discuss about the benefits of the whole unit. Okay, wait for the next class. Thank you.